Red Tobacco by Mancera. So, if you're a fan of really loud, sweet, tobacco, spicy fragrances, this is for you. If you are not a fan of those notes, you're gonna hate this and you might as well just turn off the video right now. This one is a modern classic as far as tobacco fragrances go. The performance is insane, the quality is very high, but at the same time, this is not for everybody. This is going to suit specific people, specific tastes, and it's going to be for specific occasions. But if you watch the rest of this video, I'm going to explain all of those things, so stick around for this one, guys. Hey everybody, welcome back to Real Scent Review. Thanks for tuning in with us this evening. So, third video of 2023. Let's get this one started. I'm going to be reviewing Red Tobacco by Mancera, which you already know if you've looked at the title of this video. Everybody knows about Mancera Red Tobacco, everybody who's been into perfumery within the past few years. I think that this is part of the big 5 tobacco fragrances, which would be Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford, Herod by Parfums de Marly, Naxos by Xerjoff, Havan by Mugler, and of course this, Red Tobacco. Now, I totally just made that term up, the big 5 tobacco fragrances, but really, those are 5 of the most sought after and highest quality tobacco fragrances in modern perfumery. So let's get started with this one here, shall we? Starting with the box. Nice kind of piano black finish, just kind of paper with a plastic coating on it. Nothing really special. I mean, this is a sticker right here on the front. Not super fancy. Also, it's a little bit destroyed. I've been traveling with this recently. Anyway, opening it up now. And as all Mancera bottles, it comes in a pouch here. Same with all of the fragrances from this sister brand, which is Montal. But anyway, and here's the bottle. This is a 60 ml bottle. The glass is red. The actual juice on the inside is not red, however. And this is a screw-off cap. There you go. Not a fan of the atomizer. It's very narrow and it dribbles a little tiny bit. Anyway, so let's get started here with the official note breakdown for Mancera's Red Tobacco. So officially, the notes in the top are cinnamon, oud, saffron, incense, nutmeg, green apple, and pear. The official mid notes are patchouli and jasmine. The official base notes are tobacco, Madagascar vanilla, amber, guaiac wood, sandalwood, white musk, and Haitian vetiver. Lot of notes. And, you know, there is a lot going on in this fragrance, but I disagree with a lot of those notes. Right off the top, being honest here, the opening is very intense. Very intense. It might turn a lot of people off, but I encourage you to just wait for 20 minutes because this really does dry down into something magnificent. So what I detect here in the opening, I get some saffron, cinnamon, a little bit of oud, and some tobacco. In the mid, I detect vanilla, more tobacco, some guaiac wood. In the bottom, I get vanilla, tobacco, and patchouli. So in the beginning, like I said, this is a very intense, bracing opening. And, you know, the way the saffron and the cinnamon interact, which is, you know, very heavy dose of both of those notes. They kind of combine to give it a sort of a cherry accord, but it's a very medicinal, strong cherry accord. Almost a little bit cough syrupy, so medicinal. And I think that medicinal quality comes from, you know, those two notes, sure, but definitely combined with the oud in the top. So like I said, please don't judge this fragrance off the opening because it really dries down into something special here. It's a really good scent. It's one of my favorite tobacco scents. So in the mid here, I definitely get some vanilla, tobacco, and some guaiac wood. The guaiac wood gives a little bit of a leathery, slightly oily note to this, although it's not the main factor here. It's definitely tobacco all the way through. Finally, this dries down into a wonderful vanilla, tobacco, patchouli base. I'm wearing it as the scent of the day today. And it's first of all, it's a very loud, very powerful fragrance. The opening, the medicinal, strong, spicy opening only lasts for about 20 minutes, and the mid part lasts for several hours, as far as I'm concerned. And the end dry down, the end result only comes in about 5 hours later. Now, some things that are present the whole way through. The tobacco is definitely present the whole way through. That sort of cherry vibe that's very strong in the beginning does last throughout the life of the fragrance, to my nose, but it definitely dies down. It becomes much more palatable as the fragrance dries down. So the tobacco, the slight cherry accord, and the sweetness, the general sweetness, those three qualities last the entire life of the fragrance. Now, I said there's a little bit of oud in the top. That's going to scare a lot of people away, but trust me, if you actually smell this, you're going to realize that the oud in this is not overly powerful. It's not one of those animalistic ouds. It's not one of those fecal ouds. It's typical Mancera oud, which is like really, for a lot of people, not really that overpowering. I suppose if you're totally new to perfumery, it might be a little bit overpowering. But for a lot of people out there, this is going to be a pretty nice fragrance for the colder weather. So getting on to performance now. The performance is insane on my skin. I get like 12 plus hours longevity. The projection, it projects for like 3 hours, the first 3 hours, and the sillage is immense. The sillage, the fragrance hangs around in the air for an hour for me after I spray it on my skin. So all in all, crazy performer. If you're looking for something loud, yet at the same time classy and deep and well-rounded and smooth, this is definitely one you're going to want to check out. And like I said, this is one of my, big 5 tobacco fragrances. Out of all of those that I mentioned, this one is going to be the least expensive, but that does not mean it skimps on quality. This is a very high quality fragrance. So if you're already into stuff, if you've ever tried, for example, any of those big 5, let's say if you're a fan of Mugler's Pure Havane, we all know that's almost impossible to find nowadays unless you want to pay an arm and a leg. This one, I'm not saying it smells similar, but it does focus on that tobacco note. So if you're a fan of Mugler's Pure Havane, definitely check this one out. If you're a fan of Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford, definitely check this one out. Because like I said, this is going to be one of the most affordable ones in that entire big 5 that I mentioned. It brings me back to versatility now. This is a loud, strong, very sweet fragrance. This is going to be for winter only. I think it also leans towards the nighttime use, very, very strong, very sweet, very rich, very deep. I would say it leans, I don't know, maybe formal. But the thing with this one is that it's such a loud projector. I would say even if you're going to spray this on an hour before you go out, which was what I would recommend, I would only ever do 1, 2, 3 sprays. That's all you're going to need. This stuff's going to last you the whole night. Like I said, 12 plus hours longevity, and first 3 hours projects like a monster. This is really a beast mode fragrance here. So close quarters encounters, I don't know about that. Maybe for a date, I guess if you sprayed this on like an hour and a half before you went to meet your date, it might work at that point. But then, I would only ever wear it to an outdoor date in the winter. Like, for example, if you're going skating with someone at a skating rink, it might work for occasions like that as well. Maybe if you're going to an outdoor sports game, like a football game in the wintertime, could work as well. Things like that. You just use your common sense with this one. This is going to choke people out. If you spray this on and go in an enclosed space with somebody within an hour of spraying this, you're going to choke somebody out, and it's going to be an unpleasant experience for that person and even for yourself. For me, when I spray this on, this totally invades my personal scent bubble. This is one of the loudest scents that I own. You're definitely going to get noticed in this. I've had people come up to me up to 8 hours after I've sprayed this outside in the cold. People have come up to me and asked me what I'm wearing because it smells so nice. This is a performance monster. And a lot of times, you know, with those performance monsters, they tend to skimp on quality. I'm thinking of those club bangers, for example. Yeah, they're loud. Yeah, they're sweet. Yeah, the performance is great, but sometimes they skimp on the quality. This is not one of those. This has the performance, but it also has the quality and the depth to it. This is very, you know, mature. It's refined, but it's loud at the same time. So price, you know, it's technically a niche offering, but you know, for a 100 milliliter bottle, you can get this for right around $100 on Fragrance Net. I'm going to link it down below here. Um, yeah, so it's definitely, as of right now, the most affordable fragrance in that big five that I've told you about. So if you currently don't own any of those big five, I would suggest starting with this one because it's a very interesting take on tobacco, very sweet, like I said, very spicy, and I highly recommend this one for tobacco fans for the winter time. Guys, you're definitely not going to regret this one, and that's been my review of Mancera Red Tobacco. Hope to see you next time, guys. Keep it real.